Hello everyone. So welcome to another interesting session on this summer camp 2021 organized by PGF Cultural Committee. Now it was told to me to do some videos on robotics. Now what I felt is that since most of you don't have robotics kit at home, it's very difficult for you to build those what I teach. So today we'll be doing completely on something that you can easily do it on laptops. Now, what you need to do is that there is something called Python. It's a programming language, and it is a very simple programming language, but with a huge potential of creating a lot of stuff. So you can do back-end programming, you can do software development, you can do machine learning, artificial intelligence. So these are big words. So keeping them aside, so what you need to do over here is that over here we'll be going through a very basic understanding of Python, how simple it is, and we'll be giving you a task, some tasks at end to understand and to so that you can practice and maybe later on we'll use it to do some programming on robotics. But as of now, in this video, I'll be teaching only on some basics of Python. So let's get started. For coding in Python, we will be not installing any software in our desktop. We will be using the collaboration tool from Google to do the programming part. It will be done in a server in Google, so we don't need to install any of the softwares here. So we open this page, we sign in, and once we click sign in, we'll be using our Google account to do it. So I hope all of you have it. Once this page opens, you need to click the plus sign, the plus code over there, and it will open an input terminal where you can write something. For example, let me write print hello PGF. So it's a very simple statement, I'll explain you later. So it prints out the output in the next line. So let's start with an understanding of how easy Python coding is. So let us declare some variables. Let's call one variable called apple, and we define that, say for example we have 3 apples, and we also have another fruit called guava, and let's declare it in another variable which is called guava, and we define guava equal to, say we have 5 guavas. And now we need to print out that how many fruits we are having in total. So to do that, we'll be using operators, which I'll explain you later in more details. But over here, say for example, we need to write number of fruits equal to apple plus guava. It's so simple. And what we get as an output, to get an output, we write the print statement. And over here, we will be writing print the number of fruits. And it will give you as the output, which is 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8. So if we see, the coding part is so easy. Now we can even make this 8 output much beautiful to look at by writing that print the number of fruits in our basket, and then we write it, and since we are having a string in before, we need to add a plus sign to add another string at the end. So we will convert the number of fruits to a string and we will print it. So it's so easy. And now from moving from variables, so there are different kinds of variables over here. So we have something called boolean. Now boolean is very easy, which is like 1 or 0. Most of you guys would be knowing it. So 1 means true and 0 means false. Now it's much like a lie detector. Either you, if you are truth, it will give an output 1, and if not, it will give an output 0. Now let's see if let's put a variable called is the light on, and we put the value true. And if we want to switch it off, we will just write is the light on equal to false. So false means it's 0. So these are boolean operators, boolean variables. And then we have something called integer variables. Now in integer variables, so what are integers? As we know, integers are things which we can count, right? Like for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, these are called. Now let us take an example of printing the number of fans that we are having in our home. So we will assign a variable which will be having the number of fans that we have in our home. We'll be taking this specific example for our next operator, but let's write over here the number of fans equal to, say we have 5 fans. And then there are other types of variables also, which are like float, character, string, uh, which you can even read from internet. But over here I'll be just explaining a little about strings because they are very important. We have already used it earlier to print the number of fruits in our basket. So those are strings. So for example, what is my name? It's Abhijit Mukherjee, and let us print this all the variables that we have defined. And say for example the status of the light, we write as the status of the light, and then the total number of fans, we put the variable over here, and then we also say that my name is, and we write the variable whatever we write in the name. And if we run it, you see we have an error over here because it's written over here the total number of fans is undefined. So I'll change it to the number of fans, and you have the output, the status of the light, the total number of fans, and my name is. Now, so these are the different variables that we were speaking about. We will use it for programming, but this is very basic part. So now the next section would be operators. Now by operators we defined addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo, and there are many other operators. But over here we will be taking into a few of them. One of them is plus sign, which is addition, which we have already done, which is like printing apple plus guava, 3 plus 5 equal to 8. And then we will be, for example, we'll take a multiplication. So say for example we have the total number of fans in our home, which are 5, and each of them say consumes certain energy, which is defined as 75 watt, for example. So how much does all of them take if all of them run together? So total energy consumed, we will write as the total number of fans into 75, this much watt, and we will print this statement. So total power consumed by the fan is, by all fans, in the house, plus string total number, total energy consumed. And if you see, it has just done the multiplication. So the multiplication symbol is star. For division we use slash, forward slash. And so let's take an example. Say for example I have certain amount of chocolates and I want to distribute among some of the kids. So to do that, say for example I have 25 chocolates and I have 5 kids playing. So what I need to do is that I need to divide 25 by 5. So to do that, there is an operator which is called the division operator, which is represented by forward slash. Now if you see, this whole Python is so easy to code that you don't need to write big blocks, you don't need to write anything. It's very easy. So you just write that the share of each child equal to number of chocolates divided by number of children's, and we will print this. Print each child gets plus string share of each child, and we run it. So if you see over here, each child gets 5. Now if you see, it's very interesting, it writes 5.0 because whenever it divides it converts into a float number. So we were discussing about a float, so 5.0 is a float variable. So now there are other operators like subtract, subtraction operator, which is addition minus represented by minus sign, as we do in mathematics. And we can take a very simple example, like how many guavas are there more than apples. To do this, we just put it in a variable and we subtract guava minus apple. So I think there was 5, and we had a number of guavas 5 and apples 3, so the value will be 2. So we'll write it like this: the string number of guava more than apple. So this is how we use the operators to do mathematical calculations. So what we have learned so far: we learned variables, print statement, and operators. As we know, computers can compute as well as computer can decide on behalf of us. So we'll use something called if then else statement to achieve this. Now what we need to do over here is that there is a syntax which is very easy, which is first let's define a number, which is, for example, we put a value, say 5, a positive value, and we want to decide in this example that whether this number is positive or number is negative. So we write simple if this number is greater than 0, and we have to put a colon at the end and then an indentation, which is a small gap, if you see, before the second line starts print. We print the number is positive, or else we write the number is negative. So it's so simple. If we run this, we find that the number is positive. Now if we change this one number to say, for example, minus certain value, then we should be expecting a negative output. So it writes over here the number is negative. So this is how we make the computer decide on certain conditions. Now after understanding this whole if then else concept, we should be going forward towards loops. Now there are different types of loops. First I'll explain for loop. Now say, for example, I need to write my name 3 times. Now to do that, I have to write the print statement that I was writing 3 times, right? So loops helps us to reduce the number of lines that we write. So say, for example, over here I have to write my name. I'll just print the previous statement 3 times. So like print my name is this, my name is this, my name is this, and if I run this, I'll get the output my name is 3 times. Now instead of writing these 3 codes, I can just write it using a for loop. Okay, so I need to write 3 times, so I will use a for loop for I in range. What is the range? Between 0 to 3. So 0, 1 and 2, the last number is omitted, and then I write this print my name is something. So, and if I run this, first I need to hash this previous lines to comment it. So you see the output is same now. Now the same thing can be achieved also by using some other codes which are like while statement. So to do that, what we will write is so we have to initiate a counter first. So over here on the previous example in for loop, I was already the counter which was starting with 0 and 0, 1, 2. But in while loop we need to initiate a counter. So we will put a count equal to 0, and then we'll write while count less than 3, and then we'll write my name, and then I will increment the counter. So I'll write count equal to count plus 1. So we'll get the same output, but over here the number of lines that I'm writing is much more, because I have to initiate the variable. But while has its own advantages, which we can take up further in our different courses. Now we'll keep it simple at this time. Now we can also take some input from us and give it to the computer by using a statement called input. Now to do that, let's see an example. So for this example, let us create the same previous example of okay, let's write a sequence. Okay, so let's write a sequence. For example, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, like this. So number to be printed, so let's put a value, let's ask for that number. So we'll use the input and we will write inside that enter the last number to be printed. So whenever we enter the last number, say for example 8 or something, so it prints 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And but we have some issues in this code, so I'll keep it very simple and let's explore what are the issues and let's try to find out and debug and improve the code. Okay, so I'll just do a write a for loop now, very simple for loop, which says for I in range 0 to that number to be printed, print I, simple. So if I number to be printed, print I. So if I run this, you will see the output contains, first I'll write over here 10 input, so it will write 0 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now if I enter a value say 0, it won't print anything, and it will not tell you also that it won't print anything. So it's a problem, right? Because you won't understand what is happening. If I put something negative, it won't print. Why it is not printing? Because for I in range 0 to something, so the second number to be printed should be greater than 0. It cannot be 0 or less than 0. Now to fix this, what we will do, we will use the decision. We will ask computer that okay, you start deciding. So to do that, we will write definitely a if statement. Now we will write if this number is number to be printed is less than or equal to 0, then print, sorry, that we cannot print, or else we will be using the same for loop to print the correct order. So if number to be printed is less than or equal to 0, then print, sorry, please enter a positive number. And then after that we put else and we indent the previous part of the code, okay, by pressing tab. And once we do it, now if we press 10, it will print the correct output. If you put -5, it will say sorry, please enter a positive number. I will end this short Python basic course by giving you some homework. For children below the age group of 9, needs to do square of the area of a square, need to print the area of a square. Between child 9 to 12, they need to print a Fibonacci sequence, and for children above 12, they need to print a Fibonacci pyramid. Now this can be very well done with whatever I have taught. You don't need to go into more details. So best wishes, and if you have any queries, you can ask over here, as well as take care, stay in good health. Bye bye.